Hey everybody, it's Eric Thompson. Thank you so much for checking out this video. This one is going to put a bounce in your step. This one is going to help you out. If you ever wonder why is it that your clients use you in the first place, why is it that they need a true professional like you, this video is really going to help you out. So let me start by asking you a question. Did you know that 87%, so 87% of all the people who buy or sell a home use a realtor? Would you ever have guessed that? And did you also know that this number has been trending up over time? So NAR has been tracking this. They've been tracking this for a long, long time. And if you look at the last 10 years, what you notice is that more and more people over those 10 years have been using a realtor to buy or sell a home. And that number now is close to 90% of all people buying or selling a home use a realtor. So would you have guessed that in the day and age where it's so easy for the consumer to get information about a home, to get all the documents they need, to get online and research the process and what they need to do? Would you ever guess that more people now are using a realtor? So I'm going to show you why that is. And again, this is really going to help you out, and this is going to put a bounce in your step. This is really going to motivate you to go out there and deliver some really awesome service to your people, right? So let me show you the 4 reasons, and you should know that I can't take credit for this. So I learned these things from my good friend Steve Murray with Real Trends. He's the first one that showed me these 4 reasons, but I think it's so helpful and so useful. I've showed this to lots of people, lots of the people that I work with and coach and train, and the people inside my company. I show them these 4 things and it really helps them out. So I'm going to help you out with these 4 things, okay? So these are 4 things that make the real estate transaction super unique and super different to other things that people buy, all right? So think of something that someone buys. Maybe it's a book online, maybe it's an airplane ticket. You know, those things are something that people do all the time and they become accustomed to, and they don't really need the help of a professional to help them with those things. But there's one thing that makes real estate really different than things like that, than things that people are buying online and buying all the time, all right? So here are the 4 reasons why real estate is different. Number 1, real estate is really complicated, okay? So the real estate transaction is super complicated. Just for an example, when I started in real estate back 25 years ago, the contract here in Colorado was only 4 pages long. Today, it's 19 pages long. So in 2019, the contract is 19 pages long. When I started, it was 4 pages long. So the transaction has only become more complex over time. So the real estate contract itself gets longer every single year. The transaction gets more and more complicated every single year, really every single day. It gets more complicated. There's more things that get added. There's more rules and regulations and stipulations and things to watch out for, right? So it's only become more complicated over time. That's a reason why they need a true pro like you, because for the client, the transaction is super complex. The second reason is the transaction for the client is really infrequent. They don't do it that often. So the research shows that people do this only every 10 years. So they stay in their home on average now 10 years. So think back 10 years ago, what was the real estate transaction like? Well, what it was like is really different compared to what it is now. So sure, they may have done this before, but it was 10 years ago. It is nothing like what it is now. The transaction has totally changed. We're doing this all the time, right? We're doing transactions all the time so we can be up to speed on what's happening, what the latest is, what the latest trends are, what the latest rules are, right? What the latest legal requirements are. 10 years ago, this was really different. So they don't do this very often, so it's really impossible for the client to become an expert at this. Number 3, the third reason is the transaction is very risky. It's super risky. There's a lot on the line. There's so much on the line here. So just think about a home, maybe it's priced at $400,000. Well, if someone makes a 5% mistake, so only a 5% mistake on a $400,000 home, that's $20,000. All right, so that's a $20,000 mistake on a $400,000 home. That's a lot of money. $20,000 is a whole lot of money. So compared to other things that they buy, sure, there may be some risk involved, but there's not nearly the risk that's involved in the real estate transaction simply because of the amount of money that we're talking about. That's another reason why they need a true pro like you. Now we get to number 4. The number 4 reason really supersedes all of these others. It's more powerful, it's more impactful than all of these, certainly than all of these combined. This is number 4. The number 4 reason why they need a true pro like you is because the transaction is super emotional. Super emotional, all right? So think about the emotional highs and lows that the client goes through when they buy or sell a home. And you see it, you live it, you experience it, you see them go through these highs and lows. Think about anything else that might be more emotional in someone's life compared to buying or selling a home. There'd only be a few things, right? You could only name just a few things that would be more emotional to them than buying or selling a home. Think of everything that's attached to their home. You know, it's their family, it's their friends, it's their life, it's their neighbors, it's their lifestyle, it's their commute to work, it's all the things that are around their home and all the activities that are around their home and all the memories that are attached to someone's home. And that's why it's so emotional, and that's why they need someone like you. So think about this. There is the client, there is the consumer about to embark on this thing called a real estate transaction. They're about to buy or sell their home, and they're facing something that is super complicated, that they don't do very often, that's very risky, and oh, by the way, is super duper emotional. And chances are, and the numbers back this up, chances are they're not going to choose to do that alone. And chances are they're going to want to use someone that they know is a true pro, that they know they can trust because of all these reasons, again, mostly because it's so emotional. So I hope this puts a bounce in your step. I hope this clarifies to you the reasons why they need you. They need a true pro like you. So stay committed to this business. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep taking care of people because clearly they need you because of these 4 reasons. I hope that this video helped you out, and I hope you check out the next one. And in the meantime, have an awesome day. Bye.